So you might feel that all these prayers of invocations are known to you, but actually these words have very deep import, and we're going to discuss it. The file has been sent to you, intro to in Gita class as it is. So somebody can use his phone. If you want, they can have this phone. So we're going to start this. I'm not chanting Mangalacharan now because we're trying to understand Mangalacharan. So yesterday we discussed Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and we defined and we understood what is ignorance, and the spiritual master by the torchlight of his knowledge, and we also try to understand what is knowledge. He opens the eyes, Unmilitam. So now we are going to discuss the other shlokas. Please, if somebody wants to have this, doesn't have, then you can use this. Please chant after me. Somebody can chant after me. This is not the file which you have opened now. This is intro 2. We have sent the file intro 2. Please open the intro 2 file in Gita class as it is. Yes. So please chant after me. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam
Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam
Sthapitam Yena Bhutale
Sthapitam Yena Bhutale
Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahayam
Swayam Rupaha Kada
Dadati Swapadantikam
Dadati Swapadantikam
Sri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam. Abhisht means something which you really like, which you really desire. Sri Chaitanya Mano Abhishtam. That means the desire, the most wanted desire of Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This prayer is being offered to Srila Rupa Goswami. Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. Yena means by whom. Bhutale means on the earth. Sthapitam means established. So now the meaning of the first line is who Srila Rupa Goswami, I'm paying obeisance to Srila Rupa Goswami, who established the cherished desire of Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, this line. Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam. Swayam Rupa, who is himself Srila Rupa Goswami, and also it means he is Swayam Rupa Manjari, who is Rupa Manjari. Kada Mahyam. Mahyam means me, to me. Kada means when. Dadati Swapadantikam. When will he give his lotus feet to me? Now what is the meaning of giving lotus feet to you? It means giving shelter or accepting that person as your dear servant or as a humble servant. Does it make sense? So when will Shila, now I'm reading the meaning of the word is clear? Is it slow enough? Okay. So now we'll read the translation. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Now we have added some comments into it which are not in the introduction, but I will highlight some points. First is who Srila Rupa Goswami is. Srila Rupa Goswami is direct disciple of Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and one of his most confidential associates. Small pastime, Mahaprabhu used to recite a special prayer in front of Jagannath in the mood of Srimati Radharani. But he won't mention the word Radha, and he will speak out a shloka as if a girl is talking to his lover, and nobody could understand. But after hearing that, Srila Rupa Goswami wrote a special verse which was expressing the mood of Srimati Radharani when she sees Krishna in Kurukshetra. So then Mahaprabhu himself was astonished how he understood my heart. So then Ramanand Rai says, without your mercy, who can understand your heart? So then Mahaprabhu said, yes, when I met him in Prayag, seeing his humility, I bestowed all my mercy upon him. Remember this point. By Mahaprabhu's mercy, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, because of his humility, because of his love, he got the mercy of Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this highest truth of the pastimes of Vraja were revealed in the heart of Srila Rupa Goswami. Okay, the whole pastime of Rupa Goswami is very long, and the spiritual world is he is or she is Rupa Manjari. What was the heart's desire of Mahaprabhu? Isn't it Manobhishtam? What was the Manobhishtam? So by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, I understood in the sense I found the exact shloka. You can refer to it. There's a whole chapter upon it. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 19.1. Before the creation of this cosmic manifestation, the Lord enlightened the heart of Lord Brahma with the details of the creation and manifested the Vedic knowledge. So, did you remember? Just now I mentioned how Mahaprabhu manifested the knowledge within the heart of Srila Rupa Goswami. So, Lord Krishna, he is same as Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself. The same Lord Krishna manifested the knowledge of creation within the heart of Brahmaji during the time of creation. Similarly, in exactly the same way, the Lord, being anxious to revive the Vrindavan pastimes of Lord Krishna, impregnated the heart of Rupa Goswami with a spiritual potency. By this potency, Srila Rupa Goswami could revive the activities of Krishna and Vrindavan, activities almost lost to memory. In this way, he spread Krishna consciousness throughout the world. My question. Now somebody can take up the mic and answer me. What was the heart's desire of Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Can somebody speak? Karanamrit Prabhu? Switch on the mic and speak loudly.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desire is this knowledge to give Rupa Goswami.
You see, that's why I asked you to speak. His desire was not to give this knowledge to Rupa Goswami. Okay, give that mic to him. Very good that you spoke. His desire was there to give the knowledge to Rupa Goswami. First of all, you have to clarify which knowledge. But that was not his desire. Yes.
Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's
Speak in the mic. Yeah.
Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heartly desire was to revive the pastimes of Sri Krishna.
Yes. So he wanted the pastimes of Lord Krishna to be revived. That means to be known to the whole world. So he also had the desire, but main abhishta of Mahaprabhu was that the pastimes of Vrindavan should be known to the whole world. And that's why he gave instruction to Srila Rupa Goswami, and also by his mercy, those instructions fructified within the heart of Srila Rupa Goswami. Just like the knowledge of the Vedic knowledge of creation was manifested in the heart of Brahmaji. Can you understand this example? And now, so this is Chaitanya Manobhishtam. And the second point was Thapitam Yena Bhutale. How did he do that? So he did it by writing scriptures. Ujjwal Nirmani, Anyabhilashita Shunyam, Bhaktir Swami Sindhu. What else? So many other, Laghu Bhagavata Mrit. So many scriptures he has expounded, written to delineate the pastimes and tattva of the pastimes of Supreme Lord Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. So it is very clear how he did and what he did is very clear. Any doubts in this matter? Is clear? No. Now we can chant together. Vandeham Sri Guruho Sri Utpadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Vitamscha. Don't go to the translation immediately. Try to understand the meaning of the words. Vande aham. I am worshipping or paying my obeisances to hear very carefully. Sri Guruhu Sri Yuta Padakamalam. Sri Yuta means to. Padakamalam. I am offering my worship or my obeisances to the two lotus feet of my spiritual master. You see, Guruho, if actually no Sanskrit is in Shashti, to the lotus feet of my spiritual master. So yeah, this is very clear. Sri Guruho Sri Yuta Padakamalam. It's not that Sri Yuta Padakamalam is something different. I am paying obeisances to the two lotus feet of my spiritual master. Guruho means in Ekvachan. That means singular. Sri Gurun. Sri Gurun means spiritual masters. That means there is one spiritual master, Diksha Guru, but there are many instructing spiritual master. So it is not that I only am paying obeisance to a spiritual master and not giving respect to others who are teaching me Krishna consciousness. Is it clear? Vaishnavamscha, and there are devotees who may not be my instructing spiritual masters, but they are devotees of Krishna. So I am paying obeisances to them. Is it clear? Sri Rupam means Srila Rupa Goswami. Sagrajatam, Agraja means elder brother, Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad. Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam. Raghunathan Vitam means Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami. They are all associates. That means associates of Srila Rupa Goswami. As Prabhupada will say, the band of 6 Goswamis. Now it's amazing that the band is of dacoits. But sometimes Prabhupada uses this word band of 6 Goswamis. Tam Sajivam, Srila Jiva Goswami Pad. Okay. Sadvaitam, along with Advait Acharya. Savadhutam, Avadhut is Srila Nityananda Prabhu. Parijana Sahitam, along with all their associates. Parijan, so you understand Parijan? Parijan means who are related to you. Like that. Parijan, Sahitam. Sahitam is along with Krishna Chaitanya Devam. I am paying obeisances to Krishna Chaitanya Dev, Mahaprabhu, along with Advaitacharya, along with Avadhut Nityananda Prabhu, and along with all their associates. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. See, if we train our ears, then we can very easily pick up the Sanskrit simply by looking at the words. That's how we learn any language. Kemon ache. I don't know the Bengali. How are you? So it's just by hearing it again and again, you pick up the language. It's not difficult. Rajashekar Prabhu, are you able to understand the Sanskrit? Yes. Last line is very easy. Sri Radha Krishna Padan. To the lotus feet of Shri Radha Krishna. Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Vitamscha. Shri Lalita Devi and Shri Vishakha Devi, and along with them all the associates. So basically, you are, by this shloka, you are paying obeisances to the all, like everybody, Krishna, Radha, Shamsundar, everybody, all the Vaishnavas, all the Vaikuntahas, and all, everybody. In Goloka, all the Vaishnavas, every Mahaprabhu's associates, Krishna's associates. What a powerful prayer. What a powerful shloka. Okay? I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. So Prabhupada has clubbed Gurun and Vaishnavas. So, but that we have to clearly understand. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami along with his elder brother Sanatan Goswami, as well as Raghunath Das and Raghunath Bhatt, Gopal Bhatt and Srila Jiva Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda along with Advaitacharya, Gadadhar, Srivas and other associates. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna along with their associates Sri Lalita and Vishakha. Very easy. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate. This is very easy. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu. O Krishna, who is a ocean of mercy. Dina Bandhu, that you are a friend of the distressed, or friend of fallen people. Jagatpate, you are controller of the whole world. Gopesha, that means you are the master of the Gopas. Gopika Kanta, that you are, Gopika refers to Srimati Radharani. Kanta means lover of Srimati Radharani. Radha Kanta Namostate. Sorry, I made a mistake. Lover of the Gopis. Gopika here refers to all the Gopis. Gopika Kanta, lover of the Gopis, and Radha Kanta, you are lover of Srimati Radharani. Namostate, I pay my obeisance to. Very easy, this is very easy. So, I will not read the translation, or should I read the translation? Huh? Or maybe it is too fast, I should read the translation. Oh my dear Krishna, ocean of mercy, you are the friend of the distressed and the source of creation. See, one thing you have to see, Krishna is not only merciful, but is also merciful, and he's a friend of the distressed, but is also source of creation. That means he's very powerful and he can remove the distress of the people. If he was not merciful, then he would be very dangerous. This is very important. So he's very, and if suppose if he was merciful and he was not the controller, then useless. What is the point of your mercy? Make sense? It's very nice. So all the qualities are there. So that's why we take shelter of Krishna. You are the master of the cowherd men and the lover of the gopis, especially Srimati Radharani. So that's why Gopika Kanta, after saying Gopika Kanta, Srimati Radharani's name is there. Especially is a lover of Srimati Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Some of you may be knowing this, but since we are going to read it, we're going to discuss all the meaning of the words. Maybe something is not known. Sahil Prabhu, you are able to follow? Okay. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये. So in a sense you are also learning which prayers to be offered. If you are not knowing, when you go before the deities, then what prayers you should offer. Tapta kanchana. Kanchana means, kanchan means gold, and tapta kanchan means which is hot to the extent it melts. Molten form of the gold. Gaurangi. Angi means body. So her body is like of Gaur Varna, which is, that Varna is like Tapta Kanchan. That means like molten gold, that kind of complexion she has. Radhe, Srimati Radharani, oh Radharani. Vrindavaneshwari, she is the master of Vrindavan. Krishna is master of the whole world. And Srimati Radharani is the master of Vrindavan. Vrishabhanu Sute. She is daughter of Vrishabhanu ji. Devi means Devi means resplendent, playing splendidly. This is the meaning of thing. Doing wonderful, splendorous pastimes. That is the meaning of Dev. Same thing will be the meaning of Devi. Pranamami Hari Priya. Hari Priya means she is very dear to Hari, and I offer my respectful obeisances to her. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. Okay. Now this next shloka is offered when we pay obeisances to Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha. The Vaishnava is like a Vancha Kalpatru, a desire fulfilling tree. Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, he's like a Kripa Sindhu, ocean of mercy. Patitanam Pavanebhyo, he is the deliverer. He is the purifier of fallen souls. Patita means fallen souls. Pavan means to purify. So he is the purifier of the fallen souls. Such a Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I pay my obeisances to the Vaishnavas like this. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnav devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. It looks like I'm talking, that's how they sing after Mangal Arati, yes. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So we know this, but we'll just introduce. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Nityanand Prabhu is Balramji. Advaitacharya is Mahavishnu plus Shivji. Gadadhar is Srimati Radharani. Srivas Thakur is Naradji. And Adi means, Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda means all the associates of Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I offer my obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivas and all others in the line of devotion. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So today we completed the Mangalacharan. From tomorrow onwards, we are going to discuss the introduction of Srila Prabhupada. I will try to, how to say, demarcate themes. So in this way, portion by portion, we'll discuss introduction over a period of time. And then I hope you understood. I would request that again you will make a revision of these prayers, because anyhow you're going to chant them every day before the deities, and you try to understand the meaning of the words. And if you don't understand some meaning of the word, you please ask me, so that what you're not understanding of these words. So this should be very clear. Basically, it's my desire that all of you should be able to teach Bhagavad Gita. It's not only learn Bhagavad Gita. So unless you make that effort of trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, so that something in mind that you can actually going to teach it, then we're not going to put effort. Okay, quiz. So yesterday we discussed about, let's see if I have the file. I have the file. So just open your intro 1. Intro 1. What is ignorance? Yes. So just open the last. I already have shown, but I'll ask you the questions now. Page number 20. You can see in the, what is avidya? Can somebody somebody tell me what is avidya? Yes.
Avidya is made up of two things. Two.
Hold
two
mic near to you.
things.
Huh.
It is made up of Avaranatmika and Vishvekha.
Is it made up of Avaranatmika and
Not
Prakshipatmika?
made up of, but
You see, the point is, if you have not understood clearly, and if somebody asks you, Prabhuji, what is avidya? Then we will also speak the same thing. Then what is the original knowledge becomes completely distorted. So I am not chastising you. I'm just saying you please hear very carefully. Avidya is is the root cause, or the energy by which the jiva forgets his swarupa, original swarupa. And it has two functions. I'm not doing the detailed work, only the chart you can see. You were there yesterday, isn't it? No, you were there. He was there yesterday. You were there, yeah. Just look at the chart on page number 20 of intro 1. Again, I'm reminding you. Avidya is the covering potency. I mean, the potency of which will make the jiva forget Krishna. So for that, there are two parts, which is avaran and vikshep. Avaran is also called agyan or tamas, and vikshep is moho or asmita. And vikshep means thinking I am the body. Yes? I will not explain. Then it's not exam. Exam number 1. What is raga? What do you mean by raga? Okay. Attachment. Okay, give him, and please explain what is the meaning of attachment and to what the jiva becomes attached to. Obviously, it is in front of you, rag and attachment. Rag means attachment. What is the meaning of attachment? No answers. Karnamrit, what is the meaning of rag?
Rag means you are attaching object.
Attaching object, which you forgot one word. If I put laptop here to here, attach laptop to this, mobile to this laptop.
Sense for
Attachment to sense object. If you lose one word, then the meaning will not be clear. Suppose if I would have taught you attachment to objects. We are not attached to every object. Are you attached to this door? Sense objects which give us sense gratification. Okay. I'll ask all the questions to Karnamrit Prabhu. What is dvesh? Aversion. Yes.
so dvesh means we are that sense gratification is death. Death of
Yeah, you have to speak in English. When
someone
somebody,
is disturbed.
yes, Sunil Prabhu, you are able to speak English? No? Prem Krishna Prabhu. I must have some satisfaction that at least you are understanding something. Yes.
When something come under in between our sense gratification and
Yes. So when something obstructs my sense gratification, then we develop anger. And what is abhinivesh or fear of death?
to fear of lose of that sense gratification.
Very nice.
Like that.
Fear of losing that sense object. That means, or the body, which is the means of doing sense gratification, that raises the fear of death in our life. And what is vikshep? What is moho and asmita? I was under vikshep. I have been under moha illusion. I forget what is moha. I am this body. And this is the basis of Rag, Dvesh and Abhinivesh. Okay, we have to, it's very important. You must understand very clearly, because I won't be able to understand or correct what you speak in Telugu or what you're going to speak in your class whenever you will give class. Are you able to understand this point? And with this knowledge, you can cure the root cause of a person's bondage. Be very responsible in trying to understand. We have convinced ourselves that we are so fools that we cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. Somehow, somewhere in our mind, we are switching off our mind and convincing ourselves that we are so foolish that we cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. Suppose if this question is this point is going to come to in your IFs, you are anyhow an intelligent boy. Will you not be interested to understand them? Anybody will be interested, isn't it? Sahil Prabhu, what do you think? If it was coming in your BCom exam, will you not be trying to understand what is avidya, avaran, vikshep, rag, dvesh, abhinivesh? You have to. And suppose if you're a teacher, then so this knowledge, if you give to others, Krishna is saying this is the highest service you're giving to others, because in that way they will be able to come out from the forest of this material entanglement. They will come out of this suffering. So please try to make an effort. I'm not chastising. I'm just trying to say it's not that you cannot do it. It's just you have to tax your brain a little bit and then you will understand. And so it's not difficult. Do we feel that we are the bodies? Can you see in your consciousness? We see. Okay. Do we feel that we are attached to sense gratification? Do you feel, not devotees, do you feel karmis or materialistic people are attached to sense gratification? Do you feel they become angry when sense gratification is obstructed? So can't you see these things are happening in your life, and are people not afraid of death? So just because some Sanskrit is there, we can't switch off our mind. I become a little bit angry on this point. Just because there is some Sanskrit, you cannot say these things are so difficult you can't understand. Make sense? It's just when you say, no, I cannot understand, then we cannot understand. Some devotees are understanding also. I'm not saying that like that, but samajh rahe na? If you make an effort, then you will understand. And what is Gyan? Can you see the chart? The relationship between Jiva and Krishna, Krishna and Prakriti and Jiva. In 13th chapter, we are understanding these concepts. Krishna is the supreme controller, proprietor, enjoyer. Krishna is controller of material nature. He is controller of Jiva. Jiva is trying to enjoy Prakriti, but actually Jiva is a servant of Krishna. He should serve Krishna. He should not try to enjoy Prakriti. This is a basic concept of Sambandha Gyan, and by trying to understand it, the living entity becomes freed from the bondage of avidya. Samajh mein aa raha hai ya? And if he does not understand this, what does the Jiva do? He keeps on enjoying the material nature, and by this his disease will increase. So that was the explanation of Om Agyan Timirandasya. That means as soon as creation is there, the living entity is born with these kind of avidya. We are born with this baggage, but the spiritual master and Vaishnavas, you all devotees, can deliver a person and bring him out from this bondage by giving him this Sambandha Gyan, proper knowledge, which is the real symptom of a proper spiritual master. I'm just revising the last. This is very important to be understood. Hopefully tomorrow you'll be able to answer this. Okay, if there are some questions on Zoom, let's see. What is it? To spread Krishna's name throughout the world. I don't know what is the comment. Is it a comment or question mark? Or comment with a question mark? Okay, so we shall stop here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.